Hello again, and welcome back to another installment of How Solo Can You Go? Our video blog series, which is dedicated to some of the challenges and opportunities that often face solo practicing and small business owners. Today I wanted to focus on another lesson that I think is very helpful and important. But before we start with that, quick shout out for some of the folks that have given us some great feedback on this new series that we've started. Paul from the UK, I really appreciate your comments. Kathy in Melbourne, Australia, which sounds a lot like Paul from the UK, but I guess I messed up that accent. David in New York, and Brooke right here in our home state of Maryland. Today I wanted to focus on something that's related to a lot of the work that we do at RemSource. Love red lights, by the way, I get to look at you. And at RemSource, we tend to focus a lot on processes and workflow and making sure that your business is running in an efficient and consistent manner. But what I wanted to highlight today was, if I may say, what can be potentially a improper use of some of those concepts. As business owners, we're very passionate about the success and growth of our business and the thing that we do, but sometimes that energy can get channeled in the wrong direction. So I wanted to share a story with you to illustrate that lesson. A couple years back, I had a client reach out to me, extremely disappointed and frustrated with a situation they had with one of their clients, where a dispute, misunderstanding about some expectations led to that client withholding payment. And what our client at RemSource was suggesting was a significant and very, very large change in the onboarding process and documentation process of new clients in the future, to protect herself from something like that happening again. So after hearing her out, and of course understanding her frustration, nobody likes to end up in a dispute with a client, and certainly not one that ends with lack of payment. What I shared with her was my own theory of relativity, and that is the theory of solution relativity. So Einstein and I are not related in any way, shape, or form, nor are our theories or our hairstyles. But our theory of relativity at RemSource is more about the relativity between problems and solutions. So as you run your business and you become more disciplined with processes and procedures and thinking ahead and really trying to create systems that control as many outcomes as possible, now and again you'll run into a bump. And the impulse, because you're so passionate and you are so absolutely committed to your business, the impulse is to create a solution that would avoid that in the future. What I told that client then, and what I would like to share with you today, is the theory that your solutions should always be relative to the size of the problem. This particular case that this client had was very unique. The way I helped her remember that was by asking her how many times in the last 12 to 18 months such a situation had come up, which obviously the response was, this is the first time it's actually come up in the last 12 to 18 months, and actually ever in her business. And by sort of anchoring yourself on making sure that your solution is relative to the size of the problem, you can often avoid some, what I would call, overreactions, because the reaction that she was proposing would have actually alienated, complicated, and made far more of a defensive and sort of aggressive client onboarding relationship for all clients in the future. And while nobody wants to accept problems and issues in their businesses, we never want to ignore them. We certainly want to study them and make sure they're not part of a larger pattern. We also don't want to over-engineer solutions. So to the extent that this issue had come up and certainly was disappointing to our client, that is something that we take very seriously, and certainly encourage everyone to take seriously in their businesses. But you want to make sure that your reaction is in line with the size of the problem, and certainly with the possibility and the statistical likelihood of that problem coming up again often enough that it should sort of justify a very, very large solution. So that's my theory of relative solutions, my theory of relativity. This is not Albert Einstein, it's just Azi Rosenblum coming to you live from our little video blog. I hope you're having a great day. Go out there, grow your business, do great things. Catch you next time. Bye-bye!